Adam, do you think the manager's backed himself into a corner where now he just can't change?
But I don't think he should.
Listen, the people at the top at Man United, they're only human, we're all the same. There's no doubt in my mind that Jim Ratcliffe will be thinking if we made a mistake. We're talking about teams who are struggling to win, Adam.
I've always said teams that are in the title race.
I mean, go on, you tell me what you thought about watching that game.
I know, I thought it was pretty dreadful performance, apart from the last 20 minutes. I was surprised to see us even get back into it, to be totally honest with you. Let me just add for the record, Ashley Young is a disgraceful diver who got a hand on pathetic.
But it was all right when he was in a Man United.
It was all right when he did it for us, yeah. But I thought that was a disgrace. But now, generally, the performance was really, really poor. And even some players that have done okay recently have seemed to have dropped off a cliff as well. I thought Mazraoui throughout the season has been quite strong for us, quite good. But he looks like he's tired, he's a little bit fatigued. His back's probably hurting from carrying the team a little bit.
To 15.
No, but he's been. Don't you start. But
carrying the team. Carrying the team.
You know all about 15s. Where you would be without a sugar daddy,
whatever,
you know that.
Whatever, mate. Whatever.
No, but he has been very good for Manchester United this season. You remember that from when we beat you at Etihad, remember?
Well, without that, they'd actually be in the relegation talk, mate. You're only, 10 points above that, so...
We've seen all you like crying coming out of the Bernabeu the other day.
We're not.
Sack Pep.
Get yourself in the Champions League, mate, and then I'll talk.
Don't worry, we'll be in the Champions League when we win the Europa League, and you'll be outside it.
Okay.
Be funny that 15th place in the Champions League while you're outside.
Adam, why is it not getting any better under Amorim?
You look at the squad. The squad isn't there. We had a bench full of kids.
No, but it shouldn't be this bad.
No, but
it shouldn't
you
be
look
this
at the
bad.
squad and it is.
It isn't.
It is very, very
Man
bad.
United haven't got the.
He doesn't want
15th
Casemiro.
place
No, we're not. We shouldn't be 15th. That's right. But he's also trying to change something. He's trying to change the team. We haven't got the players to play the system he wants to play, but I kind of admire him having to stick with it, because ultimately, if we find out whether players are not good enough, or good enough now for him for next season, I know there's kind of like.
I debate a lot with people about Amorim, a little bit about the system and change. Do you feel he should adapt and change if he hasn't got the players to play this way right now?
The formation, maybe no. But in terms of maybe the style of play at times, how open the midfield can be at times, yes.
But isn't that down
that comes from the formation, though, doesn't it?
Not always, no. It depends where your players are in and out of possession, isn't it? And there was actually times, again, on the weekend in the second half where we went to a back four, weirdly, and then started scoring all the goals. But I do think when you look at some of the key players in key positions, they're just not good enough. Højlund isn't holding the ball up. Chido Obi's 17-year-old, came on for 10 minutes and did more than him. He's not ready for men's football, I don't think, but he did more in 10 minutes than Højlund did all game.
Adam, do you think the manager's backed himself into a corner where now he just can't change?
But I don't think he should. If we've brought him here for...
There is an argument about that. People talk about it. Remember the Southampton manager at the start of the season?
Russell Martin
saying, I can't go and tell my players to play differently because they won't look at me the same. You're getting beat every week. Surely a great coach... Okay, I think even Pep said this about it. He said, great coaches, they stick with the philosophy and that's it, and that's what they do. But great managers also have to be able to adapt and change, I think. I think of probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever, in Sir Alex. We was playing in Europe, and we was always a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1. And we've struggled in Europe for a long, long time. So he went to the 4-5-1 basically, and we were boring. We were boring to death going away from home. But he started getting results, and we ended up going to a Champions League 3 out of 4 years. Didn't win it twice, obviously, because of Barcelona. So that to me is changing and having an effect on your team to get different results. I think as long as you carry on playing this system, and he's backed himself into a corner doing it, but you're getting beat and you're playing so badly every week. Surely there's something has to
You're out fourth as well, though, which is what I did. You know, like I'm sitting down watching it. I know Everton have been like on a good run, and Moyes has got them going and all that, but they shouldn't be out running yet and out fighting yet. That basic stuff that you should get from any pro, basically. That wasn't there especially in the first half, was it?
I think I do think like you're probably right in terms of adapting certain things, but like he wants to play out from the back. You've got Harry Maguire, who's not good enough in possession of the ball. You've got De Ligt, who wasn't good enough in possession of the ball, and Mazraoui, who like I said, hasn't been performing. We've lost Lisandro Martinez, who's probably the only one who can come from that position and play out from the back. You look in the midfield, he's not fancied Casemiro all season. Like, since he's got there, he's not wanted him at all.
He's just had to play him.
And he has to play him in there. You know, and then Bruno Fernandes is looking better when he's dropping deeper because he's the only one that is good in possession of the ball. So I do feel sorry for him in terms of the options that he has at the moment. I would have liked to have seen him maybe try a few of the youngsters out when we were against Spurs, because you had nothing to lose.
He's not in a position to do that, is he?
No, but we've got nothing to lose. We're 15th. Try a few of the lads. You
The
never
other
know.
thing, you
Pressure
talk
makes
about the
diamonds
last 20
sometimes.
minutes were really good and shown a bit of braveness. We were saying this before. People rave about it, the last 20 minutes. Oh yeah, they were brilliant, shown great character. You've got to do that in the first 20 minutes. Everton was like, not the good old days, but it was hostile. The players had great energy. The crowd were on top of them. Where are you then? Where's Bruno Fernandes then? That's when you win your games of football, because you get to 60 minutes and Everton, they've flown about everywhere. They're going to be wrecked. They're going to be knackered. And even if you just keep it 0-0 by being brave, keeping possession away from them, maybe scoring a goal, that last half an hour at Goodison, that's when you win the game, as you're shown. But they haven't got the balls, they haven't got the bollocks to do that in the first 20 minutes, half an hour.
Is there anything in, because I find myself almost contradicting myself when I speak about Amorim, because when I talk about maybe Ange, I've said, he always plays the same way, he doesn't adapt. But I have got something with Amorim where I think when a manager is so stuck and rigid to a system, and throughout his managerial career, I think he's only played a back four times. And it's not so much the system, it's almost that's his DNA. It's like asking Klopp not to press. So I actually speak differently about Amorim than I probably do about other managers, because that's his thing, that's what you brought him here to do. So it's like asking, as I said, it's like asking Pep not to play small midfield players. That's his thing.
Remember when Ten Hag came out and said after like a month, I can't play the football I played at Ajax, and everyone went, why the hell are you here then? And that's why you need someone to come in. And if you do, I know it sounds like I'm making excuses for him, but if you look at the squad, there's literally not much there. Like,
where's the squad going to come from?
Well, we have to start making better decisions in terms of our recruitment, not wasting money on certain players. And I think if you do get rid of a few, like Anthony's finally doing something, so hopefully you can boost his price tag. You can bring money in. So hopefully we can make some changes. Also, you look at the recruitment they're doing. Like the likes of Lenny Yoro, they're bringing in a lot of good younger talent to hopefully grow, which is what you need to focus on.
When you get managers from leagues where they're dominating the ball, they're the best team, their out of possession stuff isn't as important. So if you're in Sporting Lisbon and you're always in the top, you win in the league or you come in second, you dominate most of the games. You're now coming into a league where, because of the squad of players that you got, forget how big Man United are. And it's the same with Tottenham in terms of Ange being at Celtic. You're not going to be the best team in the league. So the problem that both teams have, and I think a lot of Tottenham's problems as well, is actually without the ball. Because maybe the managers, not saying they don't know how to coach it, I don't mean that, but they just haven't been, that hasn't been their game for the last 3 or 4 years, because they've been dominating games of football.
The difference in leagues is a good point, isn't it? You think of the Dutch league and the Portuguese league where it was. I think Arne Slot made a good point yesterday when he said 11 points clear in any other league, this is done. It's game over. But in England, there's just so much good teams and quality about that you just can't relax.
Are they at United? This isn't a dig, because in previous years I'd have said it. And
why are you so worried about United all the time?
Are they actually looking to be staying up there? Are you looking, like in another year, could United have gone down? Yeah. And that's not a joke. It's a genuine question.
If
we've got 30 points,
if the likes of Ipswich had a handful more points, I think, what is it, about 12 points or something? Could United have actually gone down? Or?
Well, yeah, if they were it's like less than Southampton, another 14 points, yeah, we'd probably go down, yeah.
My thing is, is that good management? Like, doesn't he have to pick up more points? Doesn't he need to win more games? Like, I understand having a philosophy and an idea, but don't you have to be more pragmatic than that? Isn't he going to lose credibility, even within the dressing room? Are these players going to believe in this idea when week after week they're not winning football matches?
That would be my... Listen, the people at the top at Man United, they're only human, we're all the same. There's no doubt in my mind that Jim Ratcliffe will be thinking, if we made a mistake. There's no, he must be thinking that. He will. I'm not saying he has.
You can't bring a manager in mid-season, a manager who at the start goes, you know what, I'd rather come in the summer, by the way. You can't bring a manager in mid-season, have no money for him in the January transfer window, not give him anything, see the squad shot to bits, you let Rashford go, you let Anthony go, you let all these players go, not replace them, and then go halfway through the season, through his first season, you know what, we're not going to give you the time to turn things around. I think everyone talks about these ideals of Manchester United needing to change their culture, needing to get a manager in, give him time, needing to allow a manager to let his philosophy get across. Now, I'm not saying that means with time it's guaranteed to be a success, but everyone seems to preach these ideals, but then when it comes to it, they haven't got the patience to stick around.
I've seen you say that on your podcast, I've seen that on social media, and I'm not saying Man United should change the manager. My point being is, I think when a manager comes in at a club, I'm not expecting Man United to be amazing, but I'm not expecting to see this. And it's not even results, sometimes just seeing something in a game. And I was thinking about this the other day because people keep talking about the system. Remember Glasner came in at Crystal Palace? He came in, that was his thing. He was known, when he came in, this is what this guy does. He plays 3-4-3 or 5 at the back. This is his DNA, this is what he does. And straight away last season, you could see the impact on Crystal Palace. Now, we knew they weren't going to win every week. We knew it wasn't going to be amazing. They've gone back to being Palace this season, but always mid-table, just below mid-table. But you could see something and feel something. And I was massively positive about Amorim. His press conference I really enjoyed. He was so sort of confident and articulate. I'd done a big piece on Monday Night Football against Liverpool, how the system caused Liverpool problems. Liverpool didn't quite know who they were picking up. You know, this system can work in certain situations, but it's been so bad. I'm just saying, there must be a thought in the head thinking, have we gone a bit early with this guy? He's still only 40. This is not a guy. And don't forget, the managers in the Premier League are the best in the world. He's come up against managers that are better than him. That's just a fact because he's 40 years of age. He can't know everything about management. He's only a young guy who's had a brilliant start in his managerial career. That's why Liverpool looked at him. That's why Man United have took him. But I'm not saying they should change the manager. I'm not saying that. But as James just said there, because the results and performances are that bad, that will create doubt. It's just human nature in the dressing room and in the boardroom.
It worries me. I know what you're saying there, Jamie, because when you lose every week, there is going to be that disconnect, and I'm sure they must be growing further apart. I'm sure John Gleed is stepping back and thinking, have I done the right thing here? And I feel sorry for the manager a little bit because he came in with Dan Ashworth was going to be there. He's going to be the one next to him. And I felt like with Ten Hag, there was a big gap from his side and his staff side and the football side to the ownership. And I don't want that to happen again. I feel like it is happening without that man in the middle. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping, and I don't know because we don't see what happens in the trailer. I'm hoping he's getting a bit of help every day. I hope Jim Ratcliffe or Sir David Brailsford, whoever it is, he's with him every day. And it feels like it's coming apart a little bit again. I know it's very early to say that, and I don't know the actual, I
wouldn't be surprised if he thought the job wasn't as big as it was when he got there. And like these players, with a back four, back three, these players were 13th before he arrived, with more players available. Do you know what I mean? We had a bigger squad, and they were 13th when he got there. I just hope it's not too big of a job for him. But you need to give people time. You can't just get itchy trigger fingers as soon as And I know the results have been pretty bad, but you can't. You gotta be able to just calm down a little bit. Also, if you're going to bring football people in to decision-making positions, you've got to allow them to make decisions, right?
James, do you have something to say on that?
I was going to say that where United are at now, to be honest, it does remind me a little bit of where Arsenal were a few years ago, where they had a squad full of players who underperforming, high salaries. They needed to change it over. They brought in a manager mid-season, and it took time. But what Arteta did in his first 6 months, he was a guy who'd come out of La Masia, worked with Pep, a 4-3-3 coach. He changed because he didn't have the players. He played a back three, wing backs, because that's what you have to do. I'm not putting up on a pedestal and saying, what a great manager Arteta is. I'm just saying that you've got to do what it takes to survive, to give you the time to make the changes you need. Because if the squad are the problem, I accept that, but you can't change that all in one summer.
It didn't feel like Arteta was on his own, though, was it? He had Edu beside him, I think.
True.
Guardiola, thinking Bagaristo, I'm not sure about Liverpool and Arne Slot. I just feel like the United manager, he's thrown into it, and that's it. He's on his own. He's getting no help, no guidance, especially when he's 40 years of age. Do you know what I mean? He needs somebody with him, probably not to babysit him, but he needs help every single day.
It has to be a collaborative effort, yeah.